You didn't stop here by chance, chosen one. Your spirit felt something shifting before you even understood why. Heaven just touched your timeline, quietly but powerfully, and something in you recognized it. That sudden alertness, that inner pull, that strange sense that something is happening. It's real. Your spirit is awake. Stay with this message, because now your revelation begins. Chosen one, when heaven marks a timeline, it is not an emotional moment, a random shift, or a subtle spiritual breeze. It is a divine appointment woven into the blueprint of your existence, written before your first breath, and sealed by the hand of Jesus Christ Himself. What you've been feeling lately, the strange awareness, the spiritual sensitivity, the pull toward solitude, the sudden urge to reflect, release, forgive, and reset, is not confusion. It is heaven adjusting your internal compass, aligning you with the chapter that was always meant to find you. You may not fully understand it, but your spirit does, because your spirit has seen this moment long before your mind ever recognized it. And now, everything around you is responding to God's timing. You may have noticed time behaving differently, days passing faster, emotions surfacing quicker, clarity rising unexpectedly. That isn't coincidence, it's spiritual synchronization. When God activates a destined moment, the atmosphere around a chosen one begins to tighten. Old desires fade. Old patterns break. Old versions of you begin dissolving naturally. It is the unmistakable evidence that heaven is repositioning you. Your frustrations, your restlessness, your sudden aversion to chaos, the need for peace, the hunger for clarity, the urge to distance yourself from draining people, these are all reactions to a spiritual upgrade. Pay attention to the signs God has already released: repeated numbers, divine timing, internal nudges, quiet warnings, moments of unexplainable peace, conversations that feel guided, dreams that feel more like messages than imagination. These signals are heaven's way of saying, prepare. The next season has already begun. The mark on your timeline is not light, it is heavy with purpose. It carries restoration, clarity, protection, and new identity. And once heaven marks a moment, no force in existence, not darkness, not delay, not opposition, can unmark it. You are stepping into a divine sequence that was waiting for you. Chosen one, the restlessness inside you is not a sign that something is wrong, it is a sign that something is waking up. This deep inner stirring, this subtle discomfort, this feeling that you can no longer tolerate what you once accepted, is heaven's way of stretching your spirit to fit the new version of you that God is calling forth. Restlessness is spiritual labor. It is the soul outgrowing the limits of an old identity. That is why the things that once entertained you now feel empty. The conversations you once tolerated now drain you. The people you once felt obligated to keep close now feel misaligned. You're not becoming distant, you're becoming defined. You're shedding emotional weight you were never meant to carry into the next season. In recent days, you've felt a pull to step back, to rethink, to restructure, to recharge. You've felt the urge to quiet your environment, protect your energy, and guard your peace more than ever before. This is not isolation, it's preparation. God is cleansing the noise around you because He needs you sensitive to His voice. He is emptying the unnecessary so you can carry the essential. You've been feeling this shift in your sleep patterns, your emotional responses, your intuition, and your sudden desire for simplicity and clarity. Heaven is simplifying your life so you can step into purpose without distraction. This restlessness is also a sign of spiritual acceleration. You are moving into alignment faster than you realize, and the old cannot keep up with the speed of your growth. That inner discomfort is the friction between who you were and who you are becoming. Every chosen one experiences this before elevation. Your soul begins rejecting anything that limits your destiny. You are not unstable, you are evolving. You are not lost, you are transitioning. And this holy discomfort is heaven's way of saying, you were made for more, prepare to rise. Chosen one, the heaviness you've been battling lately, the sudden waves of discouragement, the strange fatigue that hits you out of nowhere, the moments where your mind feels attacked, the unexpected memories resurfacing, the loneliness that feels deeper at night, none of this is accidental. This is spiritual warfare, and not the ordinary kind. This is the kind of pressure that shows up when heaven is shifting your destiny, and hell is terrified of what comes next. The enemy does not fight you because of your past, he fights you because of your future. If you were not carrying a divine assignment, there would be no resistance. The proof of your calling is the size of your battles. And lately, your battles have increased not because you are weak, but because you are crossing spiritual territory the enemy hoped you would never even approach. Notice how the attacks felt more mental than physical: intrusive thoughts, sudden fears, emotional triggers, confusion, restlessness, or moments where your spirit felt heavy without reason. These are not signs of spiritual decline, they are signs of spiritual transition. The enemy attacks the mind when he can no longer access your spirit. The very fact that you are still here, still listening, still seeking God, still fighting to stand, is evidence that the enemy has already lost access to the deepest parts of you. What you survived recently would have broken many others. What you endured quietly, without telling anyone, was a battle fought by heaven itself on your behalf. You didn't survive because you were strong, you survived because you were chosen. Every time you pushed through when you felt drained, every time you prayed even when you didn't feel like praying, every time you resisted old temptations, every time you refused to go backward, heaven recorded it. The warfare intensified because the enemy sensed what you did not yet see. Your timeline had been marked by heaven, and your spirit was elevating beyond the reach of old attacks. That's why old patterns tried to resurface, because your breakthrough was nearing. That's why familiar temptations returned, because the enemy always tests the door before it closes. That's why emotional triggers appeared again, because hell wanted you to break right before heaven promoted you. But here is the truth the enemy hates: you didn't break. You didn't quit. You didn't fold. You rose. Even when you felt numb, your spirit stayed anchored. Even when you felt attacked, your faith did not collapse. Even when you felt alone, God stood beside you. This invisible war was not evidence of abandonment, it was evidence of anointing. You are stepping into a realm the enemy hoped you would never discover, and that is why he fought you so fiercely. But the warfare you feel is not a sign of defeat, it is a sign of proximity. You are closer to breakthrough than you have ever been. Chosen one, long before your mind understood anything, your spirit already knew. The human mind moves slow, but the spirit, your God-breathed inner being, moves at the speed of heaven. That's why recently you woke up on certain days feeling different, for no logical reason. You couldn't explain it, but you sensed something shifting around you. Some days felt heavy, some felt strangely peaceful, some felt spiritually intense, some felt silent as if heaven paused just to observe you. These weren't mood changes, they were spiritual indicators. Your spirit caught the frequency of heaven before your emotions could interpret it. And because of that, you found yourself pulled toward prayer even on days when you didn't have the words. You found yourself craving silence, not because you were tired of people, but because your spirit needed space to receive divine updates. You may have noticed unusual moments, like suddenly remembering old wounds that you thought were healed, or experiencing dreams that felt like messages, not imagination. You may have felt a strong urge to clean your environment, reorganize your thoughts, release grudges, distance from draining people, or simplify your life. Those urges weren't random. They were the Holy Spirit preparing you for elevation. Before God opens a new chapter externally, He aligns you internally. That inner cleansing, those emotional releases, the urge to cry for no reason, the sudden desire to forgive someone who hurt you, these are signs of spiritual recalibration. Heaven cannot pour new clarity into a heart still crowded with old noise. God is emptying you to fill you. He is resetting your inner world so your outer world can shift. And listen, chosen one, your intuition has sharpened. Your discernment has increased. Your sensitivity to people's intentions has amplified. You can feel dishonesty quicker, sense negative energy faster, and detect spiritual shifts instantly. That is not paranoia, it is spiritual maturity. Your spirit is waking up to truths your mind ignored for years. You're beginning to see through people, through situations, through disguises. This is why certain relationships suddenly felt off. It's why certain environments started feeling uncomfortable. It's why your peace felt disturbed around certain individuals. Heaven was showing you what your spirit already recognized. Everyone cannot go where God is sending you. You must understand this. Your spirit receives before your life manifests. The tiredness, the emotional waves, the sudden clarity, the strong inner knowing, these were not random experiences. They were spiritual downloads, heavenly instructions sent to prepare you for what comes next. Your spirit knew the shift was coming long before your mind could process the change. God allowed you to feel the season before you entered it, so that when the breakthrough arrives, you will not be surprised, you'll be ready. Your spirit has already stepped into the new chapter. Your life is simply catching up. Chosen one, acceleration does not always arrive with noise, fireworks, or dramatic shifts. Sometimes it comes quietly, subtly, almost invisibly. But make no mistake, your life has already entered divine acceleration. Things that used to take years will begin unfolding in months. Things that once felt impossible will suddenly feel within reach. God is pulling you forward, faster than your fear, faster than your doubts, faster than your past. You may not see massive external changes yet, but internally you can feel the pace increasing. Your thinking is changing, your dreams are stirring, your expectations are rising, and your spirit is preparing for movement. This acceleration is not based on your effort, it is based on God's timing. When heaven marks a chosen one's timeline, momentum begins to gather around them like a spiritual wind pushing them into purpose. Notice how your decisions have become clearer recently. Notice how certain opportunities have begun appearing naturally. Notice how your perception of yourself is shifting. You're no longer seeing yourself as broken, behind, or unworthy. You're beginning to sense your value, your potential, the weight of your calling. That's acceleration. God is adjusting your identity so you can step into what He prepared. Even the things you're losing are part of this acceleration. When God speeds you up, He removes anything that slows you down, relationships that distract you, environments that drain you, responsibilities that overwhelm you, habits that sabotage you. Acceleration requires lighter baggage. God is pruning you for movement. And look closely, some things around you have already started moving faster. A sudden desire to start a new project, a renewed sense of strength, clarity about what you don't want, confidence rising in areas you once doubted, wisdom appearing in decisions you used to overthink. These are signs of divine velocity. When God accelerates a chosen one, He doesn't just speed up their life, He speeds up their understanding, their discernment, their healing, and their growth. You've been healing faster than before. You've been letting go easier. You've been gaining insight quicker. You've been seeing truth sooner. All of this is heaven adjusting your pace. Do not be surprised when connections suddenly align, when opportunities appear without effort, when doors open without knocking. This is your season where God begins redeeming time, restoring what you lost, multiplying what you have, and preparing what you prayed for. Acceleration means the delay is over. The waiting is easing. The atmosphere around you is shifting in your favor. Chosen one, you are stepping into a divine rhythm where everything God promised begins to unfold exactly when you are ready, and that time is now. Chosen one, this season of separation you're experiencing is not rejection, it is divine redirection. God is removing people, environments, and attachments that cannot walk with you into your next chapter. It may feel like you're losing connections, but in truth, you are losing weights. You've noticed how certain conversations no longer interest you, how certain people drain your peace instead of adding to it, how certain environments feel spiritually heavy. This isn't accidental. Heaven is filtering your circle. Before elevation, purification always comes. God will never place you in a room full of destiny if you're still surrounded by people who celebrate your weakness but fear your growth. This is why your energy has shifted. You no longer have the strength to entertain what is beneath your calling. You're no longer emotionally available to case. Your tolerance for disrespect, inconsistency, and spiritual immaturity has disappeared. That change is not harshness, it is holiness. God is raising your standards so He can raise your life. Some people were attached to your past, not your purpose. Some relationships were tied to your old identity. Some connections were tied to wounds God has already healed. If they stayed, they would sabotage what heaven is preparing. So God is letting them slip away quietly. You may feel lonely, but you are not alone, you are being insulated. When God isolates a chosen one, it is because He wants their ears unclouded, their heart undistracted, and their spirit undivided. This separation is your sanctuary. It is where God whispers instructions that cannot be heard in a crowd. It is where He strengthens your discernment, sharpens your intuition, and prepares your steps. You are being hidden, not forgotten. Protected, not rejected. Positioned, not abandoned. Separation is the signature of divine preparation. And when God finishes this process, He will reintroduce you to the world transformed, elevated, and unmistakably anointed. Chosen one, this is your confirmation. Everything you've been sensing, feeling, and enduring has been leading you to this exact moment in your journey. You are not imagining the shift, you are walking inside it. The weight you felt this year was not punishment, it was preparation. The clarity that suddenly appears in your mind is not coincidence, it is divine timing. The peace you feel after emotional storms is not accidental, it is heaven settling your spirit for what comes next. You are stepping into a chapter where the things that once confused you will begin to make sense. The prayers that felt unanswered will begin unfolding. The doors that stayed shut for years will begin to respond to your presence. You are entering a season where God reveals the purpose behind every delay, every detour, every heartbreak, and every separation. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was random. Everything has been woven together for your becoming. What you feel right now, this strange calm, this quiet hope, this subtle rise of strength inside you, is not temporary. It is spiritual confirmation that the shift has already begun manifesting. Your timeline has been corrected, aligned, and protected. You will soon see why certain people left, why certain opportunities didn't work out, why your spirit kept urging you to wait. You were being positioned for something bigger than you imagined. This next chapter does not come to break you. It comes to reveal you. It comes to show you the version of yourself that pain tried to bury, fear tried to silence, and darkness tried to suppress. Chosen one, prepare your heart. A season of clarity, restoration, favor, and divine alignment is opening before you. You will know it is God because it will feel effortless, peaceful, timely, and unmistakably guided. This is your confirmation. The shift is real, the timing is right, and the breakthrough is closer than you think. Chosen one, as you step away from this message, I pray that the peace settling in your spirit right now becomes the confirmation you carry into the days ahead. You are not walking into an uncertain future. You are walking into a divinely prepared season, one that heaven has already aligned for your good. The same God who carried you through every shadow, every storm, every disappointment, and every silent night is the God who now goes before you, making your path straight and your spirit steady. I speak over you the courage to trust what God is revealing, the wisdom to follow where He leads, and the strength to release what no longer serves your calling. You are chosen, protected, and set apart for a purpose greater than you've imagined, and nothing formed against you, visible or invisible, will be able to stand. May your heart stay open, your faith stay anchored, and your steps stay guided by the hand of the one who wrote your story long before the world ever knew your name. If this message touched your spirit today, I invite you to subscribe so you never miss another prophetic word designed to uplift, guide, and strengthen your journey. And if you feel led by the Spirit, you may also support this ministry through super thanks or donations. Every seed helps this message reach more souls who need it. Go in peace, chosen one. Your timeline is aligned, your breakthrough is in motion, and heaven is walking with you. Amen.